In today's video, I'll be picking up where I left off on my foundation repair project here at my cabin in the woods in the Pacific Northwest. I'll be doing a random assortment of tasks, each of which will get me one step closer to finally finishing this thing. A couple weeks ago, I wasn't feeling too well. Some of you may have noticed that I skipped a week of posting videos. And where we're gonna start this video with me picking up after the concrete had dried, the last row of concrete that I poured under the cabin. I was in the process of installing the next row of beams on top of that concrete. I still was feeling pretty crappy, but it had been so long and I wasn't making any progress, so I kind of forced myself to get back to work. And I didn't film a whole lot of the process of installing those posts and beams, partially because I was feeling like crap, but also because I've got 3 other full-length videos on my channel where I go into in-depth detail on exactly how I'm doing that. So if you want to know a little bit more, most of you have already seen those videos, but if you haven't, you can go check out the old ones. But that's going to be the start of this video, and then we'll just continue on from there.
Oh, shit.
drop.
Good girl. Go get it. Yeah, go get it. Go get it.
All right, and now we're all caught up. This is where you saw me starting this video. It's pouring down rain, as you can see. All my stuff is wet, but I got the concrete covered up here. There's all the dobbies. I moved those concrete forms from over there to over here because they were not in a great spot over there. They were kind of gonna be in the way once I start on the next step here in the process. For those of you that don't know, these dobbies and rebar are gonna go inside each one of those forms, and they are hidden inside the concrete right there in each one of these rows underneath the cabin. Here's another look at that row that I started off the video installing. Again, I didn't go into a lot of detail, but there it is. That's what the new ones look like. That's what the old ones look like. This cabin's been sitting here for 50 years, and over that time it's sunk in some spots, and those beams have changed shape. They've gotten warped, and so you can't just jack it up in certain spots and fix them and flatten them out. They're now fixed to that shape that they've moved to. Thus the reason why I milled all those beams with my mom and Tim. Those are all nice and flat, and I'm gonna redo each row so that I have a nice flat cabin, just like I do along the backside here. But we just gotta go one row at a time. At this point in this project, I am 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows, 4 rows deep into installation, and now I have 4 rows left, but I am well over more than halfway done because of all this excavation that I had to do. And there's a reason why I went ahead and made these extra forms, because I think I'm gonna try and do 2 rows at a time here. At least that's the current plan in my head. We'll see how it goes in execution, but I think I'm gonna be able to do those 2 and then those 2. Doing this those first 4 times, I've got the process down, and you guys will just see how I'm gonna do it. But I'm excited to do it. I'm excited to show you guys. I'm excited to finish this because it's been a long time coming, man. I still want to take all this fill dirt and grade it out, make it look nice here, spread it out. I moved all these old beams that were underneath the cabin that I've been removing. I got them all stacked here. Someday I'll be using those in the future. Those are still nice. They're not super straight, but I can definitely think of a lot of uses for them in the future, for future construction, future projects. And then all this dirt back here, there's a lot of it. But as I've said before in previous videos, the ground slopes away. It drops downhill quite a bit here, so all this can just get spread out, and that'll end up getting utilized. Luckily, the overhang, because of the gutters that I had installed here, the gutters are obviously preventing that splashing that was happening before, but it also prevents the rain from getting further past the concrete there. So this is all staying dry despite the fact that I don't have it covered up. And then you can see I got the plywood here covering those rows right there. I just want to keep all those posts and beams dry for as long as possible to prevent warping. Oh, and another thing that I didn't explain earlier in the video was the delivery of this concrete. I think I kind of pulled a fast one on Home Depot, because you can order things to be delivered to your home. There's no established address here. I don't have a mailbox. It's not like, it's a very unique situation here. So I entered an address, address in quotations, the closest one that I could come up with that was going to be semi-accurate to get them to the approximate location. But I was expecting to get like a phone call from somebody to confirm, like, hey, either telling me we can't deliver out there, or we'll go out there, but you got to give us more detailed instructions. And I didn't get anything except for your delivery is on the way. And then I got a phone call from the guy who was delivering it, who was like, hey, where are you exactly? And then it was way further than he expected. All the other concrete that I've hauled up here, these 60-pound bags of concrete, I've been putting in the bed of my truck every time. Just like every time I do a town trip or every time I come up here, and I've been doing that over and over and over. But I was sick of doing that, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to think of ways to speed up the process here to try and get this project done. So I was like, let's try and get all that delivered, and I got it done. So that was cool. Oh, another thing I didn't explain was the disposal of all those roots that came out of the dirt as part of the excavation underneath the cabin. That was such a pain, man. That made the digging process so freaking difficult. It took such a long time to work around all those roots, but I was able to just dispose them. We got a debris pile around here, part of the community. We pretty much, like, everybody throws branches and stuff, basically like forest debris. There's a giant pile. We all make this huge pile, and then we have somebody come up with a wood chipper and turn it all into wood chips. So that's where all the roots went. And that's another thing about this video specifically. A lot of what you saw took so much time, but it didn't make for a super long video. It looked like it happened really fast, but we're talking about hours and hours and hours of digging, and yeah, it's just everything took a really long time. But that's a wrap for this one. I'll see you guys on the next step in this project. Come here, girl. She was upstairs laying in bed. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Not a whole lot of Mia in this video, but she was doing her thing. We did a lot of fetching and playing, just like we usually do, but I didn't record much of that process. She was mostly just getting in the way. You were just in the way all the time. Yeah. All right. We're gonna go play now. Play in the rain. Get all dirty, right? See you later.